back subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to an abandoned property, and once again it's not technically abandoned. What's happening is that suburban sprawl that's making its way to this area, and I believe we're in the Tarneit area, and we have a lot of these sort of, I think they're classified in slang as McMansions, with a lot of property, a lot of land, and developers are coming in to buy up the land to put just houses after houses, and unfortunately the large homes or homesteads that were once here get demolished. So there is a few around here. There's one I'm looking at that's behind the camera that looks relatively new, so I will try to find some information about how much it got sold for, but I'm starting to come to the conclusion that anyone bought property around here, they probably bought it at a pittance, so to speak, and now they're worth in their millions. So good luck to them. So the house is now behind me. I don't know if you can see it. Got a large garage and all that. Once again, I do believe it could be a situation where it could have been a truck driver with his fleet of trucks, or just a handful, or whatever they do, because the shed is quite big, but I don't believe the land itself was used for any sort of farming. But the only way we can find out is by having a bit of a look. So I'll spin the camera around and let's go check it out. So once again, I arrived on the motorbike. It's a great day. The skies aren't blue, but the sun is out. There are patches of cloud, so I don't believe it's scheduled to rain today in this area, but as you can see in the distance, this is what we're here for. So it looks like a two-story building, and to the right is where those sheds are that I noticed from the street. Now unfortunately there has been some dumping here, and whoever the developer is has been clever enough to make mends to any fencing to stop trucks coming in to do that dumping, and also the main gate. So you've got to walk through, you cannot drive through. And there's also, which is terrific, I believe the council has installed a portable camera, or a CCT camera. Obviously it's a bit of a problem in this immediate area, so the council has actually jumped on board with one of those portable CCT cameras that look out for the road. So anyone coming in with a load but then leaves without a load, there's every chance they've dumped it somewhere in one of these properties that's been earmarked for demolition for the new housing estate. So as you can see, it's quite a substantial home. The front door is there, but everything else isn't. The air conditionings have been removed. You can see a huge satellite at the top of the roof. So I'm assuming that the signal wasn't all that flash hot. And once again, the developers will disconnect power, gas, water, so you don't get the squatters in driving everyone nuts. So here's some sheds. So maybe it was a farming property, I don't know. Once again, we have tyres dumped. I think that's why all the entrances to this property have been blocked out. We do have the the mattresses. They seem to be another thing. And here we have the first shed. So it looks like it's sort of part of I don't know what you call it, a display for a shop or something. Don't know. No idea. I'm sure that someone will out there and say, yep, I know exactly what that was all about. So there's your tyres that get dumped. Now there's a little shed here with a little satellite on top. I'm wondering if that was the teenagers' hangout. Once again, if you've got teenagers, they seem to want their independence quite early, and they'd like to have space for themselves. And if you've got a farming property, I guess you can create anything for them, and they're happy to stay in a shed. So that's pretty funny. I could be wrong, but that's what it appears to me, this little shed here for a kid who wants to be on his own a bit. So we do have some, I don't know, it looks like stables of some sort to keep maybe pigs. These look like more for pigs than anything else. So I guess it was being used as a farm property, which is good. That's what it's all about. Yeah, some sort of livestock. It's got that lovely aroma about it, which I don't particularly mind all that much. And I don't know if you can see in the distance, the real estate boom is heading this way, and it's only about 2 or 3 farming properties away before this one gets caught out and gets demolished. So we're just going to go around the outer building. So it looks like there's 2 homes here. This looks like a granny flat, and that looks like the main home. And then you've got the little teenagers hang out. So everyone's got their own space. Once again, just over here, I'll come and have a look. There are some sheep in the other paddock, so that could be for a neighbouring property. You can see there's a boundary there. So did they have horses or some sort of cattle or cows? I'm not sure. But wow. And this is like, I don't know what this is. Well, I'll go have a look. It looks like a granny flat, but I'm not sure. How many people recall having one of these monsters as a TV? These things used to weigh an absolute ton. And I don't think the picture was any good anyway. It was all okay, but geez, they weighed a lot. So yeah, this is definitely some sort of granny flat. I do like the fact that there is a loft up there where probably the bedroom was, so that's pretty cool. Maybe not for the granny, maybe this was a teenage hangout as well. A little kitchenette. This would have been terrific hangout for a young person. Very good. Or maybe even a rental property that you rent out on your own, who knows. Toilet, shower, yeah, it's got all that sort of stuff. That's terrific. Great little place. So there you go. Once again, it's all been vandalised, it's all been damaged. And I think that's more for a reason to stop the squatters. There's no real graffiti, so it really does prevent squatters getting in. It's your holiday camper. Wow, it's just been attached to the side here to create maybe another room. Somehow I don't think that's a classic look for a caravan. I think that one's too far gone. So here we have the house, the back of the house. Huge veranda at the back, that's pretty cool. Just another view of the, it really is like a rotunda, it's a round thing. Very cool. Would have been special for someone to live in that. So here you have the side of the house. It's going to be quite easy to get the drone up. The wind at the moment, there just isn't any, so that's pretty good. We do have a bit of graffiti inside the property, I've just noticed, but nothing too serious. So here's the other side of the house. Definitely 2-story. Here's the back of that round rotunda sort of little granny flat or teenage hangout. Would have been a nice home back in the day. Absolutely. I'm starting to think maybe there's some of this debris here that's being dumped. There's probably internal stuff that has been thrown out to make it inhabitable. So there you go. Never mind the reflection. Everything's been knocked out of it. It's not locked, it's just jammed. So you've got 2 entrances to the house. This one's got its door taken off the hinges altogether. This looks like a bedroom of sorts, built-in wardrobes there. Yeah, it's a nice house. It would have been a terrific house. Raised a family, had some kids. Terrific. Just another bedroom. So you've got 2 bedrooms at least. That goes to the back balcony. Very good. Now, once again, I do make myself quite vocal when coming around just in case there is someone who is loitering in the area, doing something that they shouldn't, suffering maybe some mental health issues or something like that, or substance abuse issues. So I do become quite vocal before I make my way in. Yeah, pretty cool corner spa. Doesn't seem too deep. Definitely just for one person. It's no good. And laundry, yeah, laundry. Takes you out to the back veranda as well. Very good. Okay. So you can see the stairs that takes you upstairs. But we'll go into what I think is the lounge room area through these doors. Oh no, it's the kitchen. Cool. Pantry, maybe, under the stairs. It's actually a smaller kitchen than I expect. I would have thought the kitchen would have been a lot bigger for a property this big. Very good. It's all been cleaned out properly. No rubbish left. And this is the only graffiti I've seen. That's it. Which is good. All right. We'll make our way up the stairs. Looks like there was some sort of fire here. It's a bit of a worry. Looks like someone's pulled out the power points and there's still live wires or something like that. I'm not sure. But what a terrific house. So we'll make our way up. I'm assuming the master bedroom would have to be upstairs. Well, not necessarily. A lot of people prefer to have it on the ground floor and throw the kids upstairs. Let them march up and down the staircase. So we have, this is the master bedroom. Much bigger wardrobes than anywhere else. You can see how the water's gotten in and made the floorboards pop a bit as they swallowed in the water. And here's your ensuite. Very good. Very good indeed. Okay. Nice home. So we'll make our way down now. And that's it for this property. Nothing too fancy. Definitely a larger home than usual. And I don't believe the vandals have really got to it other than people dumping rubbish outside. And someone's ripped out all the electrical cabling to make it uninhabitable. Terrific. All right. So what we'll do, we'll get the drone up, and as you can see, there's a guy across the road. He's still living in it, so he must be thinking, oh no, they're going to come after me and my property as well, but maybe he's holding out for a better payout. And once again, I hope the person or the family that had this home, that you got a lot of money for it and you're living a more comfortable lifestyle than you could have dreamed for, because I know the land in this area, some of the prices I've seen on that realestate.com stuff, when you type in there's certain addresses, your mind just boggles. You think, how did that end up being so much when you look at the history and the property and the land was under 500,000, and then we're talking in the millions within 10 to 15 years. So good luck to them. I think it's fantastic. I do like the entry point here, very formal with the brickwork and very wide. So that's what got me thinking it might be a truck driver that would bring his rigs through or something. And it still could be the case, I just don't know. So there it is. This is the suburb of Tarneit, and this property will be here not for much longer. I've actually come to this immediate area, to an area where I was expecting to see another property that seemed bigger than this one. But that's gone. That's already been bulldozed. It's no longer in play. And just here, I don't know if you can see that, in the middle of your screen right now, it's a solar panelled CCTV camera. I think that's fantastic. That should stop people doing it, unless they're going to have fake plates or something like that. But even then, you can get enough information off the trucks unless the trucks are stolen as well, which I doubt, on who the offending person is that's doing all the dumping or the antisocial activities, I should say. All right. Now, I was able to get some more research done, or some sort of investigative sort of stuff about this property, and I was fortunate enough to bump in to one of the locals of the area and knew everything about, to a certain degree, this property. And he went on to explain that the family who initially had the property were into the supply of kangaroo meat for pet stores. They would pay certain hunters further out in central Victoria somewhere, and they would bring the kangaroo meat where it would be processed for pet food, and it employed the whole family. There were horses. The person also believed that they did have pigs on the premises as well for the same purpose. And I thought, well, that's quite interesting. There's also a suggestion that the house got sold in 2015 for 2.8 million under a private agreement, and it doesn't show with the previous sort of image that you just saw. Also, he told me that further down this particular road, there's other quite large properties that have been unfortunately taken over by squatters. And I knew this was going on. I had stumbled into a few other places where I've gone to, where I've heard the same story. And he said that's one of the things that the developers did straight away. They basically stripped it so it would not be inhabitable. But if I was to go further down the road, you'll see how one of the houses further down has been sort of swamped by a group of squatters. He didn't really want to tell me exactly which house, but we do go past there, and you can work out which one you think it is as well. I sort of had a good idea, but I wasn't prepared to stop. So the squatters do take advantage. So that's one of the reasons a lot of these properties are now being stripped of electricity, gas, all the switches for the power, everything gets removed, because I think what the squatters do, they go in there, ring up the utility companies and sort of say, yep, we've moved in, can you hook it up? They give them a bogus name, or it could be a legit name, and just don't pay the bills. And in the meantime, they just don't leave. So they're getting power and everything, and that becomes a bit of a headache for everyone. And as I've probably mentioned 100 times, these people eventually do get evicted. You've just got to go through VCAT, and it is a process. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these homes now just being stripped of everything. So I hope that's a little bit more informative about this particular property. And it was a good fun. I'll tell you what, the guy who I spoke to, I think we spoke for nearly an hour about the whole area, and it was quite fascinating. Some things I did know about what was going on, and some things I didn't. And he even wanted me to do a video of his property, because he's also in a contract to sell, and he'd like to see some sort of history or some way of viewing his property once he leaves, which will be at the end of the year. So I thought that was quite interesting as well. Okay, I hope the video wasn't too long. If you did like the video, by all means, click on the like button or that thumbs up icon. please consider subscribing. Subscribing doesn't cost you 1 cent, and it really helps out the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And boy, it's a noisy road here with a lot of trucks coming and going, so even on a Saturday morning, there's still a lot of construction going on and new roads being designed and everything. But once again, thank you for your time for watching.